Coffee. For most of us, it's more than a drink. It's a ritual, a moment of calm before the world begins to spin. But lately, that simple comfort has started to cost more. A lot more. Across big chains like Walmart and Costco to local stores in Toronto, Phoenix, and Chicago, the price of coffee has quietly climbed. And for many, it's no longer going unnoticed. In just a few weeks, 7 major coffee brands in North America have bumped prices by as much as 30%. That's not just inflation. That's transformation. One of the main triggers? A U.S. trade policy rolled out on August 1st, aimed at protecting domestic production. It sounds good on paper, but for the everyday coffee drinker, it's brought sticker shock to the morning routine. This story isn't just about numbers on a receipt. It's about what it means when something familiar, like your morning brew, starts slipping out of reach. Are we losing coffee, or are we losing the freedom to start the day in our own way? Take Folgers, for example. Once a household staple, you'd find its red can on kitchen shelves from Kansas to Quebec. Not long ago, you could get a 22.6-ounce can for under $8. Now, it's creeping past $12 in places like California and New York. In Canada, around $14 Canadian dollars. That's nearly a 50% jump in just half a year. For someone on a fixed income, that $4 difference each week becomes $180 over a year. Enough to pay a utility bill, fill a tank, or buy vital meds.
And Folgers isn't alone. Other brands, even budget ones like Great Value, have seen shocking spikes, some nearing 37% in a month. When a can of coffee once cost $6.48 and now rings up at $8.89, it might not seem drastic until you multiply it across weeks and households. That's when it starts cutting into groceries, transportation, or heating in the winter. And for many, it's not just about the price. It's about the pause, that moment when you reach for something you've always bought without thinking and now hesitate. So why the sudden surge? The answer lies in the global supply chain. Coffee brands like Folgers and Great Value depend heavily on imported beans from Brazil, Vietnam, Indonesia. New U.S. tariffs on these sources have raised input costs significantly, up to 50% in some cases. That cost trickles down to us. Even brands like Maxwell aren't immune. In recent months, prices rose from $7.99 to $10.79 for a 30.6-ounce can. For someone on $130 a month in government assistance, that's over 1.5% of their entire income, just for one item. It's not just about products, it's about people. Retirees, rural residents, working-class families, they're not chasing luxury, they just want the rhythm of their day to stay intact, a small moment of normal. But that moment now costs more, or isn't there at all. Some shelves that once held familiar brands are empty. Other products have quietly disappeared, lines discontinued, regions deprioritized, and the people who stayed loyal to these brands, they're not angry, they're just quietly walking away. Dunkin, once the go-to for shift workers and early risers, has seen price hikes too. A 12-ounce bag used to be $6.99, now $10.29. Starbucks Pike Place, up from $9.99 to nearly $14. Even Nescafe, long considered a kitchen essential in Latino homes, has jumped from $6.29 to $9.49 in just weeks. The reason? Shelf space is now optimized for profit, not loyalty. Cheaper, long-loved brands are being pushed out in favor of premium, high-margin products. And the people who've been holding on to these brands for decades, they're left wandering the aisles, wondering where their morning went. People aren't making noise. They're not marching or shouting. They're just brewing weaker coffee, using fewer scoops, or stopping altogether. It's not about the coffee. It's about the feeling that what was once yours, routine, comfort, identity, is slowly slipping through your fingers. In a world where everything is measured in margins, efficiency, and growth,
Who gets to keep the simple things? Who still gets to start their day with dignity? Are we just losing a beverage? Or are we losing the small freedoms that once made us feel like life was still ours to shape? What about you? Have you changed your coffee habits recently? Are you holding on to your favorite brand or quietly letting go? Share your thoughts below. And if reflections like these matter to you, consider joining us. There's more to explore in the quiet corners of everyday life, where change is slow but deeply felt.